You need to demonstrate understanding of compilation, and in order to do this, I think Unity is a good option. So Unity is a game development platform. When you get to this screen, it may ask you to register, so you need to do that. Be as quick as you can, skip everything that you possibly can, and just get yourself registered with your school email address. Once you've got to there, make a new Unity project. I'm going to call mine the Compile Demo. You need to save it in a location that you've got access to, probably your H drive, and then create a project. So Unity is quite a extensive game development environment. We're going to do the simplest thing we can possibly do, where we can actually have a line of code where we can see it and then compile it and then see the program run that actually uses that code. So here we are in Unity. The easiest thing we can do is add in a 3D object. I'm going to add a sphere, and there we can see a sphere. I've still got it highlighted. Go over to the inspector, which is all the properties of the sphere. One of the things I'm going to, the only thing I'm going to add is a script, which is going to do something. So new script, and I'm going to call it move sphere, because that's what it does. And it says nothing selected, and now it says waiting, move sphere script. So if I double click where it's kind of grayed out here, it's going to open up that script in development environment, in our case Visual Studio, and this will give us a place to write some code. Specifically, we're going to write code that will run every frame. Just click OK on that. You get that message. So it says here, this place right here, update is called once per frame. This is code that's going to run every frame, like 60 frames per second. So the thing I want to do is move it. So I have to look at its position, and in Unity the way it refers to its position is by its transform. And then we're going to translate, which is to move it. And I have to say how much I'm going to move it by, and the thing that we will be moving it by is like an XYZ, because it's a 3D, so that's called a vector 3 in Unity. So the numbers I'm going to use are 0.1, F just means the decimal number, so 0.1 meters per frame, 0.0 on the Y, and 0.0 on the Z as well. F to say it's floating, semicolon on the end, no red allowed, all good. So that's going to take the position, move it by 0.1x, 0y, 0z. So save that back into Unity now, and I'm going to go straight to build and run. So file menu, build and run. So the build is the compile thing that we're going to do. So I'm going to make a folder for the build. I'm going to call it build 1, just in case I end up making a second build, and go and select that folder. You see it's going to make us an exe. I'm going to call this compiled program. So the exe is the machine code, the actual language that the computer understands, that we really don't. Whereas of course what we do understand is this. We understand that this means position, this means to move, and this is a coordinate system thing. So that's kind of the idea of the compilation, is going from the code that we understand to the gibberishy stuff that the computer understands. So are we done? Must be nearly done. Oh yeah, so we did build and run, so it's actually done the run now as well. So it's taken the program, and if we click play, hopefully we're going to see something happen. There it goes. Yeah. So let's go and have a look in that build folder. Compile demo build 1 I put it into. So it's made this .exe file. There's a few programs that go with it, but what I can now do is I can take this .exe file and I could run it on someone else's computer. I could distribute this as my game, sell it to people perhaps, and they don't need to have Unity installed because they've got the machine code that runs on their computer. Another point that might be worth mentioning, definitely is worth mentioning actually, is say I wanted the ball to move twice as fast. If I change this 0.1 to 0.2 to make it go twice as fast now, in order to see that change in my actual game, this one, I need to recompile. So I need to go back into here and build and run and make another file. So it takes quite a lot longer. Like interpreted ones, you make a change, you run it straight away, and there's no compilation step in between. But this one I would now have to build and run to make it go twice as fast.